What's up, guys? I'm Coach Jim Madsen here at Warhouse San Diego. This is my client.
I'm Melissa Badger, and I compete in NPC Bikini, and we just finished our first show together last weekend here in San Diego, and now we're prepping for nationals.
Yeah, we got about like 3.5 weeks now.
Yep, 3.5 weeks to touch up a little bit here. Still waiting for judges' feedback to seeing on, like what I can improve on and see what we can do in these 3.5 weeks to make an even bigger impact when I hit the stage.
Yeah, I'm excited. She did really, really well this weekend. She took first in her age bracket, and then she took third in the Open, which is her highest placing to date.
Yes, I was very excited to finally get out of the fourth, I would say, curse. The past few times I competed, anytime I was in Open, I always got fourth. So just having a nice long off season, having a great coach to push you, finally got me over that hump. So I was beyond excited, extremely grateful. Just to see the amount of progress I was able to make during my off season. So.
Yeah, Melissa worked really hard and extremely consistent. I mean, you had a couple of vacations over the last couple of years, but really other than that,
yeah.
Like she never fell off. She was always on the diet. We were able, when she first came to me, she had really, really bad stomach issues. TMI, but she wasn't, there was some points where she wasn't going to the bathroom like once every 12 days or something like that. So I had to, when she first came, I had to fix that issue. That was my first thing to fix, because if a healthy body is not going to make progress, a healthy body is always the way that you want to start. So once we fixed that issue and got everything figured out and got consistent with going to the bathroom and all that stuff like that, started implementing higher food intakes. And we got up, I can't remember how many calories we were eating towards the end of our bulking season, but it was pretty high.
Yeah, I want to say it was like between 26 and 2,800 calories, which was a lot.
Pretty high for a girl her size. Melissa's a very small girl. She's got a small bone structure and stuff like that. You can't tell by looking at her. But it was a lot of food for her, but it worked out. I mean, we dieted for about 10 weeks for this contest, and she came in pretty damn shredded, as you guys can tell. I still want to get her hamstrings and glutes just a little bit tighter, especially where that tie-in area is at, and that's we're gonna focus on that. With Melissa, it's a little bit tricky because her upper half, as you guys can see, comes in very shredded very quickly, and then her lower half, the backside, is always a little bit behind. So it's a little bit of a checks and balances game for me, to keep the fullness in her upper half and not get too shredded, but then getting that backside shredded enough. But that's the part that I love. I love tweaking those little things to try to yield what we're looking for, and I think we're on the right track. Yeah,
definitely. Jim has been pushing me very consistently. Even when he was gone, he took a vacation too. Just sending me motivational texts just to push through my last prep, because you do hit the wall, and I think it was probably within 5 weeks out from the last competition. I was just like, I can't go anymore. It was really hard, but thankfully here, at the Warhouse, it's a great gym community. Everyone here pushes you. They're very welcoming. They want to see you succeed. And it was really cool to see some of that family show themselves at my show. It was really great to have, that background and them just cheering you on while you're on the stage.
Yeah, and your environment, the people that you surround yourself, super important. This is a very extremely difficult sport. A lot of times it's a very selfish sport because you're the one doing all the work. Yeah. I'm there for you, the gym is there for you, Warhouse is there for you, but you're the one that has to show up every day.
Yeah.
So whenever that opportunity for me to step in and be a little bit of an encouraging voice, or just even the person working the front desk, if they see you walk in and your head's down, and that little bit of encouragement, like, hey, you got this, you can do this, that goes a long way. And Warhouse definitely has that. The people here are all amazing, the staff are amazing. We're a pretty close-knit community here. San Diego has a lot of gyms, but I feel like there's not very many that do what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and that stuff helps a lot.
Yeah, and you know, I'm thankful for them for, you know, sponsoring me for my last show and then also going into nationals. Kind of just puts a little bit of pressure on me, but because I want to do good for them, you know, my coach, but also I want to, you know, show up for myself. But like I said, gym has been great. When I did hit that wall, you know, there was that one moment where he texted me and it said it was all heart from here. And, you know, that really, you know, got me to take a breath, you know, and just really push through because I've been giving it my all. And, you know, as long as I, you know, kept giving it my all, I knew I was gonna, you know, get what I wanted. So it's really, really motivating to say the least.
Well, the shit's hard.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way around it. This sport is hard. And it is going, if you want to do it to the extent that Melissa has, it's going to take everything that you got.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though our prep was very easy, you know, you never did more than an hour of cardio. You know, there were some weeks during this prep where calories did get pretty low. But overall, from my perspective, this prep was pretty easy. And, you know, nothing happened, nothing went wrong, everything worked well. And it was still really challenging.
Yeah, I think I maybe lost my cool twice. Where he really pissed me off.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, that happens. And that's my job, you know. And it's hard for me because I do care about you. And you know, when you're feeling like death and you're exhausted and your blood sugar is low and like I want, like the caring side of me wants to feed you.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like that's when the coach side kicks in. I gotta be like, this sucks, but we gotta drop the hammer.
Yeah.
You know, like it pulls on my heartstrings sometimes, but at the end of the day, I know from me having a competitive background, I know that at the end of the day, come contest time, I would much rather be really good and be ready than have a coach that was like, oh, it's okay, take the day off, you know. Or,
actually, when he gave me a rest day, I was like, wait, what? I
yeah.
was like, really? I get a full day of rest?
And I did not do that because my heart wanted her to have a day off. No, it was because she needed it. Her body needed it. And actually the last, I would say 3 weeks going into this prep, we actually were able to increase calories.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that because my heart wanted to, because I felt bad for her. It's what her body needed.
Yeah.
You know, so for the competitors out there, it's not always about pulling more food out and adding more cardio in. Sometimes you got to listen to your body, look at what your body needs, and sometimes that means adding more food or doing less cardio towards the end.
Yeah, I think one thing that was different about this prep, my strength never dropped. You know, like I was still hitting PRs, and then I was able to maintain that weight throughout the majority of the prep. I think the only time I had to drop weights was like maybe 2 weeks out, whereas like I really just couldn't push anymore. I really just wanted to get that mind body connection. I'm still pushing really strong, like for what I could, like really heavy. But I was honestly shocked that I was able to still lift extremely heavy, given, you know, the calorie deficit, how tired my body was, the amount of cardio I was doing. You know, it just means I was able to maintain my muscle mass for the most part, which is something that I haven't been able to do with past preps.
Well, and that's what's supposed to happen. You don't want to be weaker at 10 weeks out. That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you know, from on my end that I always take into account. You know, as my client, are they still strong? Are they still maintaining their strength? Now, energy is going to go down. So instead of being able to do 5 sets per exercise, we might go down to 3 or 2, but that strength is still gonna be there. Once that strength falls off, that's always a clear indicator for me that we need to change something. Either she needs more food, she needs more rest, less cardio or something. But that's a bad sign. If you're 5 or 6 weeks out from a show and your strength is plummeting a lot, something needs to change. But you know, it was a great prep. I'm extremely proud of the package that we brought. I'm extremely proud of the work that you put in, and we're not done yet. We still got a few more weeks, and then we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, on that national stage for the first time.
Yep.
In my bodybuilding career.
Yep.
I'm gonna make it.
Yep, we're almost there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I think that's a wrap for today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Warhouse channel. Is that it?
No.
Yeah. Perfect.